Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. SNP supporters, rejoice. Absolutely, go wild and without a care in the world. Go on, have 5 minutes in the sun. Because a poll has been released that shows that you are resurgent and that you will have a very, very tiny majority come the next election. But don't go too wild. For you see, this poll is from Ipsos Mori, which is a very pro-SNP group, and it has given the Union a lead only once in 6 years. It goes to show how biased it is. And so for you to rejoice on the fact that this one poll shows you're in the lead is obviously not true. It is one specially selected set of data by a company that phrases the questions in such a way as to elicit the response they want. It's all very carefully done. And so really, if they aren't giving, if Ipsos Mori, that is, aren't giving you a substantial lead, you should know that you aren't in the lead at all. And that, of course, is what every other poll suggests. So let's take a look to see what this massively biased Ipsos Mori poll is saying, and why, even though there is a slight lead, it's still incredibly bad. Here goes. Calm down, Nats. Ipsos Mori has just given one Union lead in 6 years, as outlier status is highlighted. And indeed, every other polling firm has shown that it's not this. This is not the answer, that it's all Labour and all remain within the Union. The Union is the strong one, despite Ipsos Mori's very, very biased questioning and its very carefully selected ways of manipulating data to get these results. A new survey suggests the SNP has a healthy lead in the polls, and more Scots want to leave the UK than stay in it. But is everything all that it seems? And the answer, of course, is no. No, it isn't. Of course it isn't. A fresh poll has been greeted with delight among Scottish nationalists after it suggested support for independence was now outstripping backing for the Union in Scotland. Ipsos Mori, which is the polling arm of the SNP, put support at Skexit at 53% once don't knows are removed, with those wanting to stay in the Union at 47%. And if you believe that, I've got some magic beans. It also suggests the SNP holds a 7% lead over Scottish Labour ahead of the next general election. Well, it's funny that they say that when they haven't won any election, MP, MSP, councillor, anything, for over a year. Not since Hamza Yousaf has come to power. He is the death knell of the SNP. Even people in the SNP know that he is damaging and that they can't win with him. So this is obviously, again, what a load of old rubbish. Anyway, Ipsos, which receives millions of pounds in public money from the SNP-run Scottish government and therefore will provide the answers it's told to provide, it's not an independent poller, has proved a controversial pollster among social media unionists, with many feeling its methodology is skewed in favour of nationalism. Well, it is. He who pays the piper calls the tune. Never mind follow the science. In this case, follow the money. Evidence certainly suggests it is a friendly pollster for the SNP's attempts to create a narrative that the momentum is with breaking up the UK. We previously reported that analysis of every poll conducted in the past 2 years showed support for independence actually dropped in 2023 compared with 2022. And yet, Ipsos Mori has remained an outlier among the main polling companies in consistently giving a yes lead. Well, it is. Of course it is. When it's receiving millions of pounds from the SNP, it's going to provide the answers that the SNP desires. And what the SNP wants is a poll showing that they are in the lead. So they can say to people, look, we're in the lead. Lying. They're lying to people because they are not in the lead. What they have is a pollster dedicated to fixing that result, to giving this result. It's not the real result. And they know it. Everyone knows it. Everyone at large knows it. Even people in the SNP know Ipsos Mori's results are biased and bullshit. You wonder why they keep giving them millions of pounds. It's millions of pounds, I suppose. Government money now. Government money, not party money. There's millions of pounds that could be spent in other places, but isn't. In fact, Ipsos Mori has only had the Union ahead in one poll in the past 6 years, and even that one in May 2022 showed a slender lead of just 1%, or 2% once Don't Knows were removed. Before that, the last Ipsos poll showed a lead for the Union in March 2018, when it had support for the UK at 50% and support for Skexit at 46%, a split of 52-48 once those who don't know were removed. Ipsos is so biased, it's a joke, isn't it? But it's the millions of pounds given to it by the government every year that's really not funny. That shouldn't be given. How can you be an independent pollster if you're paid by the people who want you to give them the result they want? Evidence of all polling between January 15 and October 2023 shows Ipsos Mori to be out of step. In terms of comparison with the mean score for each, Ipsos Mori is 5.7% away from the average in favour of a yes vote from its 16 polls in that time. Easily the highest outlier of any of the big five polling companies. So what you have is they are overdoing 5.7%. So you need to reverse that 5.7% and put it the other way. And at that point, unionism is very, very strong. Thank you very much. And the SNP are in deep trouble. In comparison, Salvation is 0.2% away from the mean towards independence, while the other three all show a slightly higher score towards union, with Panel Base at 0.3, Savanta 1.1 and YouGov 2.6. Ipsos is the only major pollster to show support for leaving the UK higher than 50% before Don't Knows are removed since 2020. And of course, it's rubbish. Nobody believes it. Nobody. Of course, unionists must guard against complacency at any poll that puts a division ahead of remainder that the SNP remains a huge threat. Of course it is. And the SNP will monetise it, and they will weaponise it, and they will say, look, support is higher, to try and make people feel that support is higher and go for it. But support is not higher, and we all know. Ipsos Mori are biased, they're pro-SNP, they are untrustworthy, and the results are just plain wrong. And he knows it. Coming up. It can be easily thrown in the bin, can't it? It's like yesterday's newspaper. You've done the crossword, you've read everything, you know it's all finished, and there's nothing new in it. Typical, isn't it? But Ipsos are given millions. This is the thing. This is the disgusting thing. They're given all this money that should be spent on people, and instead it's just going on there to basically a circle jerk of the SNP to make them feel good. But it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic that they need to do it. We all know the result. Don't need Ipsos Mori bullshitting their way through it, do we? Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Do please hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.